So hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a really lovely day so far. So today I am doing a kind of different style of video because if you've been watching my channel recently or if you're a returning viewer to the channel, you'll know that recently I've been doing more focused kind of deep dive topics on fashion, but today I want to do a kind of mix of summer trends and also a haul. And the reason that I wanted to do that is because I have bought a lot of stuff recently on Vinted and I thought it would be interesting to share it with you and show you what I've got, because I always love seeing those videos and I know that some people do really enjoy the hauls, so I wanted to do that. And also I wanted to talk about fashion trends because I haven't done a trend video in a while, and the reason is really because there haven't been a lot of micro trends cropping up. I've spoken about that on a few of my previous videos, that the kind of rapid turnover of micro trends has definitely slowed down so much, and also I've just not wanted to talk about trends as much because I think everyone's sick of the trend conversation. But recently I have noticed a few things crop up and I've been noticing people wearing certain stuff that is definitely on trend, and it's stuff that I have incorporated into my wardrobe for summer. So I thought I would share it with you because then I can see if you're also noticing this trend or if you're looking for some inspo to refresh your summer wardrobe. I thought that would be useful as well. So that is what this video is going to be all about today. So to get straight into the trends, I just have a list on my phone of all the things that I want to mention, and I'm going to try and explain them in the best way possible and give examples. But the first thing that I've seen explode so much recently in terms of a fashion trend is white baby doll dresses or bohemian white summer dresses. And it's so funny because I was thinking back to a couple of trend videos that I did last year and also trend videos that I saw, and so many people were talking about the Chloe 24 runways and the fact that we were gonna see a bohemian style kind of trend because of these runways. And I really do think that this bohemian or baby doll dress trend has come off the back of Chloe, and honestly I'm seeing so many people wear these style of dresses around and I honestly love them so much. And I have bought a version of a dress like this and I'll show you in the haul. And very similarly, I do also think that the white baby doll tops are also trending, so kind of the top version of this dress. And again, there are so many good vintage versions of this and there are so many on Vinted, and I just ordered this one and I'm very excited for it to come and I can't wait to see what it looks like. Also very similarly as well, we are seeing kind of nightgowns, and I was just watching Catriona Krebs's video and she showed this long vintage white nightgown that she'd recently got or recently brought into her summer wardrobe, and I think this is very much another trending silhouette that we're seeing in this category. And also kind of similarly as well, I do think that these more lacy nightgowns are also still a trend. I think we saw these start to trend in the springtime, but now I think they're also perfect for the summer again because the weather's so good, and actually on the kind of pajama or nightgown vibe that I'm seeing. I do also think that pajama lacy shorts are also a bit of a trend, and I say this because I saw on Joy Montgomery's story, and Joy Montgomery is basically a editor at Vogue, I believe, or she works on one of the teams at British Vogue, and she showed that she had got these Intimis Me kind of lacy shorts, and she bought them not to sleep in but to literally wear out and about and style them as daytime shorts, and I think this is a really interesting thing to do, and I think it very much fits into the kind of bohemian trend that we're seeing overall. So the next trend that I've also really recently noticed is also in the short category, and I think the best way to describe what this trend is just to show a picture of kind of old Topshop dress shorts. I don't know how you would actually describe what this silhouette or design of shorts is, but recently, literally in the past couple of weeks, I've noticed more people start to wear them, and I've also noticed them a lot on my Vinted as well, and I just did buy these shorts, and these aren't exactly what the trend is. I think the trend is more the formal kind of look of the shorts, but I have seen people start to wear these, and of course I do have to mention mini tight shorts as well, because this is something that we've seen trend for a while, but I do think that they are still trending, and I do think people are creating really cool outfits with these. And moving on from shorts to skirts, I am also seeing white kind of bohemian skirts be a trend as well, and the best way to describe this is kind of this one by My Mum Made It, and I do think there are different iterations of skirts like this, and you can definitely also thrift them, but I have seen more people wear these, and again, styling them with boots, styling them with a tank top. And in terms of some final things that I am seeing trend before I move into the summer haul, I am seeing, of course, black flip-flops and big bags trend, and this kind of silhouette of sunglasses. Of course, I think we all know about these, and something that is new, and this is the final thing that I want to talk about in terms of a summer trend, is incorporating scarves into your outfit. And this is something that I heard just being spoken about on the Run Through podcast. So that is the podcast that Vogue does, and personally I really like this podcast. I listen to it all the time, and they just mentioned that people in the Vogue office are incorporating scarves into their outfits. So I actually think this will be a really nice trend for summer, because it's kind of the evolution of a skirt over trousers, or it's kind of the summer version of a skirt over trousers. And I think that's really flattering, it's really cool, it can help make a more interesting outfit, and it's something that I do want to incorporate into my wardrobe. So that is the last summer trend that I want to talk about, and now we can move on to my summer haul, and I can show you the things that I've bought recently. Okay, so this haul is actually going to go in no particular order. I've literally just grabbed all the things that I've bought recently, but the first thing that I want to show you, which is probably my favourite thing in this entire haul, is this new Cop Capine top that I got. And it's funny because I feel like this kind of fits into the baby doll dress slash top trend, and it is kind of why I got it, but equally I just loved this top and I would have bought it whether I felt that it was on trend or not. And I've recently discovered Cop Capine, and I just think it's so incredible. It's literally my obsession at the moment, and I do just want to buy everything that I see from it. And I've actually been styling it with another skirt that I bought. So I got this vintage kind of white cargo skirt, and the brand of this skirt is Denim Co, and the reason that I like it is because it's this cargo material, and it's also low-waisted, but I really like the way that it sort of flicks out at the bottom, and personally I think it pairs really well with this Cop Capine top. And then I actually did find another Cop Capine piece on Vinted that I just couldn't resist, and it's this really interesting kind of tunic top slash dress. I really think I'm gonna wear this as a dress, even though I do think it is probably meant to be a top, but it is just about long enough to be a dress. And again, I'm just obsessed with vintage Cop Capine at the moment. I think all the designs are so interesting. The next thing is a very summer specific piece, and I bought this, to be honest, because I've seen the baby doll dresses and tops trend, and this is actually vintage Guess, and it's this really interesting baby doll top and kind of bohemian top, but I've also been wearing this as a dress with mini shorts, and I just think this is really great. It really fits the aesthetic of how we're seeing these pieces being worn, and honestly it's just so useful because it's so cool to wear temperature wise. And to show you what I have been styling this top with and what I intend to style the top when it comes with are these mini kind of stripe shorts, and I got these because I did think that I needed some mini tight shorts in my wardrobe because there were so many outfits that I could think of that really needed mini shorts for, and I thought these were cute because they have the white and red stripes. And something that I just got on Depop, which I am so obsessed with, and this is actually from a Manchester based vintage seller. I'll put her Instagram and also her Depop on screen, but this is one of those things that I went on to Depop with no intention to buy anything, but then I saw this and I just couldn't resist it because I know that I am going to reach for it so much in the summer and also the winter, and I just think it's the perfect kind of going out for drinks top. And something else that I bought recently, which was again kind of an impulse buy, but I knew it was going to be so useful in my wardrobe, is just this peachy den set, and I got it in the navy colorway, and I actually bought this in the store. So I went in and I was specifically looking for this skirt, but I ended up buying both the skirt and the top. Someone's just started mowing their lawn outside, or doing something that sounds like they're mowing their lawn, so hopefully you can't hear that and hopefully it's not too distracting. But the next thing that I want to show you is actually two bench pieces that I've got, and again, bench is another recent obsession that I've discovered through Vinted, and I just find all of the vintage bench stuff so cool and so interesting. And I did recently get two jumpers from them, and to be honest, this one is probably a piece that I wouldn't wear in the summer because it is a heavyweight kind of knit jumper, but I just couldn't resist getting it because I think the shape is so interesting. I love that it's asymmetrical. I love that you can kind of zip it the opposite way, and I also love the finger holes in the hand parts of it as well. I also got this just very simple white and grey bench jumper on Vinted as well, and honestly I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but I do think it's a useful jumper to throw on. I think you can style it in cool ways. It would almost go well with shorts, it would go well with jeans. I did get another thing from Bench that actually hasn't been the vision that I wanted it to be, and it's this interesting kind of khaki bag, and I saw this on Vinted and for some reason impulsively I thought it was really cool and I thought I could style it in interesting ways, but actually in reality when it has arrived it is a bit more dingy than I thought it would be. And I also have gone off the overall design. I thought it would be a kind of cool kind of gorp Corey vibe, but actually I think it's just a ugly bag. So another thing that I got, which again is kind of a rogue item in a way, but I just couldn't resist it, is this green Adidas zip up, and I just found this in a charity shop near my house and I couldn't resist it because I've never seen one of these Adidas zip ups in this colorway, and even though it's not exactly my style at the moment, I think if you paired it with other pastel pieces or other kind of cool tones, it could be really, really interesting. And since I've just shown you a lime green item, I will also show you these shoes that I got. So these are the Puma Speed Cats. I got this colorway and I really love this colorway, but I am slightly annoyed because I have only worn these once and they already look so worn in and they've very much got some colour on them. I don't know if that's dirt or clothes have rubbed on them and kind of put ink on them or something, but they definitely look very worn in and I've only worn them one time, but it's probably because of the colorway on them. Then I do just have a few more random things that I can show you before I wrap up this video and this haul, and the last thing that I want to show you is this All Saints bag, and honestly this is such a trending item at the moment that it's almost become a kind of basic and mainstream item. I feel like everyone has a vintage bag like this, or everyone has a All Saints bag like this, but honestly I just couldn't resist. I really felt like it was lacking in my wardrobe, a big kind of oversized shoulder bag. And then actually everything that I have left to show you have been charity shop finds. So the first one is this Joseph skirt, which I was actually so happy that I came across. At first I wasn't sure whether I liked this skirt because I wasn't sure if the length of it was the most flattering, but actually I am happy that I got it in my wardrobe because I do think it's really easy to style. Actually, the final thing before I wrap up this video is I do want to mention the rings that I've got that I've been wearing a lot recently in my videos, and these are basically from a small jewelry designer. I'll put her name and Instagram on screen, but this is basically the brand, if you can see that. I was just walking in Shoreditch, I believe, and I just came across this jewelry sale where a load of jewelry student designers were selling their pieces, and I just thought that these rings were really cool, and I thought they went really well together, and I was looking for some new silver jewelry specifically, so I did get these as well. And that is the final thing that I wanted to show you in my summer haul. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I can't wait to hear what you think of the trends specifically, and